How's she look?
Heck yeah. Oh, it looks different outside for sure. It looks fake.
The paint looks like it's wet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a weird one. Normally when I'm detailing cars, a lot of times it's older paint or it's like a new car, so it has like factory paint on it. So you get your pluses and minuses working with a car that was like freshly repainted. One thing that was nice was whoever laid the paint did a pretty good job. The same color all the way around. They did a really good job sanding it. They didn't leave a whole lot of texture left in the paint. They just forgot to do everything after that. So.
But you were saying too, most body shops don't do all the finishing work that you did. And I learned from this that body shops don't do finishing work and it's a whole separate job. And I kept telling Pat, it's really a skill to do this in itself versus painting the car. The amount of time and effort that goes into just finishing it after it's painted is, I feel like, a whole different thing.
It's a different thing, for sure. And we were lucky, whoever did the body work and the paint on this, they did a good job doing what they were supposed to do. At the end of the day, I could have spent 15 hours or 20 hours polishing it, and if the body work and the paint underneath wasn't good, it still wouldn't have looked that great. So we had a good place to start. We just had a lot of chasing out of wet sanding marks. They did a lot of dual action wet sander, and didn't buff hardly any of it out. So we did a lot of compounding, a lot of polishing to do. And then obviously the areas that are tougher to get to were the ones that were in the worst shape. So anywhere there's like a tight curve, like the mirror was really rough. The back here, this body line where the roof and the quarter panel meet, it's really hard to get in there with a polisher without it stalling out. So you end up, they left that the way it was. The side skirts and low on the bumpers, really scuffed up. They had a lot of wet sanding marks that they didn't even look like never touched. So it took a while to chase all that out. And then once you're done compounding, you're left with like kind of a hazy look on the paint. So then we gotta polish it and brighten it back up, make it nice and shiny again. So that's where the two-stage paint correction is. The first stage was compounding it, cutting it, getting it really smooth and glass-like, get rid of all the imperfections, the scratches, the swirls, the DA marks, and then come back and brighten that paint back up and make it really shiny.
A little bit of backstory too. So I actually bought the car already sprayed. It was sprayed in Japan, which was cool because I don't know if you've ever painted a car, but it's really hard to pick a color. So this is a factory Mazda crystal red metallic color. So I bought this car sight unseen from a buddy, and we didn't know, actually he saw it in Japan, but I obviously didn't, I've never been to Japan. So getting the car shipped in, I didn't know the quality of the paint. And then Pat used to run a detailing shop full time before he moved here to Nashville. So when I brought it to him, I knew it was gonna look a lot better than it was, but I'm absolutely blown away with how it came out. And let's not forget that this car got shipped across the world from Japan to California to Wisconsin, and then down to here. We drove it, 9.5 hours down here. So my expectations were Pat's gonna make it look better. And then as I was sitting here watching the process of it and learning about all this, I was like, wow, every panel he did, the car just got better. He singled one side first right? With a good solid
Yeah,
polish.
you know, being hopeful, we were gonna try to get away with doing a one step and just use a medium cut polish and a medium cut pad, and it did a pretty good job, but it left a little bit of a haze on the paint. I didn't like the way the paint finished out, so we switched to a two step and ended up going around the entire car with a fine polish and a softer pad to really bring it back and make it pop. And now you can see, I mean, really like deep. Paint looks like it's wet still. And then we finished it off using an IGL ceramic coat. So the car is coated, protected. It'll be good for years. You won't have to touch this thing with quick detail or spray wax or any of that stuff. Just simple wash every now and then when it's dirty and dry the thing off, and it is going to be looking like this every time you wash it.
What's also super rad about this is where I'm currently living at an apartment. I do have a parking garage I can park it in. I just ordered a new cover for it, but this will significantly help me keep it clean. I can come over here and wash it kind of whenever, but the ceramic's gonna help, help it stay super fresh forever. And what I was gonna say too, even when we were doing this late at night in the garage, the garage is pretty good lighting, but each panel or each stage that he did, you could just see the depth of it. The hatch, for the instant, or the top of the trunk was really bad, and then I think the side skirts pop super awesome. And then there was 2 huge scratches on the front bumper that I asked him see if he could buff out, and with that light you could probably take a look. You probably don't have a super good picture, but there's like 2 or 3 huge scratches here from shipping or painting or whatever that are completely gone. So just unreal how clean this thing came out. This car needed it. It deserves it. Literally can't thank Pat enough. And O'Leary Auto House, you gotta check him out. He does it on the side now, but I have so much more respect for the skill. It's a legit skill, and the patience and the time. Not knowing anything about it, there wasn't much I could do to help other than sit here and chill with him. But yeah, huge shout out to Pat, huge shout out to O'Leary Auto House. Could not be any more excited for this, and I think it's gonna be awesome and be easy to keep clean from here on out.